Hey friends, happy Wednesday morning. It is going to be a beautiful, beautiful day. It is perfect running weather out there, but unfortunately I am still having hip pain. This has been almost a week, but by the grace of God, I'm just praying that it ends soon. I'm going to get in some active recovery and then get off to the chiropractor. But speaking of just going through trials, there's so many people in this world that they think, or they've been sold the lie that if you give your life to Jesus Christ, that your life is just going to be amazing. And while it is amazing, it's amazing because we have the peace that surpasses all understanding, and that we can trust God in this world, and that we can walk in righteousness because of what he's done on the cross. It's not because we have health and wealth and all of those things that many of the prosperity teachers will teach that you get when you follow Christ. It's so much on the contrary. Jesus himself said, in this world you will have trouble. Take heart, I have overcome the world. And many, many times, in James 1, we're told, consider it pure joy when you encounter trials of various kinds, because the testing of your faith produces perseverance. There's so many reasons that we go through tests and trials, but at the end of the day, it just shows others, the peace that surpasses all understanding, and inspires others to seek Christ. Because it's one thing to say that you follow Christ, when things are well. A lot of people do that. We look around at movie stars and all those others who say, give God thanks, when they're receiving an award, and then they live their lives as if he doesn't exist. But true believers in Jesus Christ, we do it because, we have the peace that surpasses all understanding, of course, and we can trust God. And we know in the end, as Psalm 37 says, that we will have a delightful inheritance, and that being content it just has so many rewards of its own, that we don't go chasing after the things of this world, because doing so will cause us to fall into harm. It could possibly cause us to fall into sin, because, when we look at the things of this world and we chase them, we don't stay on mission for the things of Christ, and we can easily fall into that trap of trying to fill the void inside of us with possessions, fame, fortune, and all that stuff. But this is what David was talking about in Psalm 37. Highly encourage you to read it. It is a gem. And it's definitely worthy of your careful consideration. But David says, and remember, in David's times, this was no different than the people that we have in our world today. But we see it more in our world today because of social media and all these other things. But David says, do not fret because of those who are evil, or be envious of those who do wrong. For like the grass, they will soon wither, like green plants, they will soon die away. On the contrary, he says, trust in the Lord and do good, dwell in the land and enjoy safe pasture. The New King James says, feed on the faithfulness of the Lord. Is that beautiful or what? And then he says, take delight in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. The thing is that when we choose to trust God and we choose to be content in him, the desires of our heart will align with his. But this is the deal. In this world, we will have the peace that surpasses all understanding. But on the flip side, those who go after the things of this world will have nothing but pain. They seemingly seem to have it all, walking the red carpet, eating the choicest foods, living in mansions. But behind the scene, you look at, there's so much behind the scene. There's cheating, there's drug abuse, it goes on and on and on. And just this life that they chose, without choosing to follow Jesus Christ, this is the best life they're ever going to have. And I love this because David goes on and he says in verse 16, better the little that the righteous have than the wealth of many wicked. For the power of the wicked will be broken, but the Lord upholds the righteous. And I love this in verse 37. It says, this is a very good advice. He says, consider the blameless, observe the upright. Now he's talking about, look at the people who follow Christ. Look at the way that they act, not just in the good times, but in the bad times. Because you see people who follow after wealth, the love of money. In 1 Timothy 6, it talks about that the love of money is the root of all evil. It's not money per se that does it. It's the love of money, because the person that loves money will never have enough of it, and they will do anything to get it. But on the flip side, the one who is in content with Christ, what they want to do more than anything is to please the Creator. And they don't have to go chasing after the things of this world, because the contentment, they know that the righteous one, the one who is faithful, will fill their needs, not their greeds, but will fill their needs. And for that, that's cause for celebration in this world, I tell you what. But he talks about in the end, this is what happens. This is why he says, consider the blameless, observe the upright. A future awaits those who seek peace, but all sinners will be destroyed. there will be no future for the wicked. For those who choose to follow Christ in this world and reject the things of this world, we will have a delightful inheritance. There's 3 times he says that in this chapter. But for the one who chooses the things of this world, this is their inheritance and they have no future. So guys, I really, really hope that blesses you. But more than anything, I hope it reminds you, don't be envious of the people who seemingly prosper, the people who have health and wealth and all of these things. You know, when God, when he disciplines us, it's for our good, and it makes us more like him. So just be thankful each and every day for what the Lord does in your life. But more than anything, be thankful that that he is one we can trust. You know, David said in this chapter, he said, I once was young and now I'm old, and I have never seen the righteous begging bread. David knew what it was like to have a lot, and he knew what it was like to have a little, just like Paul said in Philippians 4. And they both came to the determination that contentment with godliness, as Paul talks about in 1 Timothy, there's great gain. So guys, I really, really hope that blesses you. I'm going to get in a workout, and get off to the chiropractor. It's going to be a great day.